Right, hello again. Now, another thing which I think is sometimes skirted over quite a bit in martial arts, I know certainly in the karate world, is the Moksu, the meditation. Okay, normally we look at it as like, um, well, just to relax our mind after a busy, stressful day at work, relax yourself, and then like at the end of it, a nice physical karate session. You've been um, doing your basics, your kata, your sparring, whatever. You're all excited and whatever, just to calm yourself down before you go home. But I'll say there's a lot more to it than that. Okay. Um, it's often said when you go into, if you get involved in a fight or any kind of altercation, the most important part is your mind. Okay. So the meditation is a direct training exercise for your mind to calm it down. Now, when you're kind of faced against an opponent, um, your mind starts, very often, your mind starts getting carried away and like, oh my God, he's bigger than me. He's gonna kill me. Oh, this will be so embarrassing. I'm a black belt, and if I get beaten up, people are gonna laugh at me. If you've got all these things going through your mind, they're a distraction. Okay. There may be a simple way out of the situation, whether it's a physical way or whether it's talking your way out of it. But if your mind is keep on giving you all these kind of negative thoughts, it makes it much more difficult for your mind for you to actually find a way out of the situation. So meditation, it is a way of helping you to clear your mind, and it's not just for the 2 minutes or whatever it is that you're doing the exercise. So while you're practicing at home, or while a lot of people are at home at the moment in self-isolation, this is a good time to practice it. Now, excuse me sitting, because again I've got a bad knee and I can't kneel. Okay, so I'm going to sit for this. Now, in the when you start off, the first thing you do is focus on your breathing. Okay, the Chinese have an expression about the monkey mind. The monkey mind is mischievous. Mischievous. It's always kind of like darting off, thinking of different things. Oh, what's for dinner, or what's Charlie waffling about on this video? So the monkey mind kind of like goes off in different directions. So another phrase that the Chinese have is feed the monkey mind a banana. Basically, it's something to give it to keep it occupied and distracted. So the banana that we're going to feed our monkey mind is the breathing. So in the last video, I talked about breathing from the diaphragm and isolating the diaphragm by focusing on the solar plexus. If you haven't seen that video yet, I would suggest you go back and see it. So when you're doing your meditation or your Moksu, okay, basically make sure you're comfortable, okay, close your eyes, and to start off with, just focus on that breathing. So as we breathe in, breathe out. Just try and put all your attention down there onto the diaphragm and how it's moving, okay, to fit in with the breathing exercises that we were talking in the last video. Now, if you've been doing this for a while and you're a bit more advanced, that will be easy. It's quite easy to switch the brain off. Now, or for some people, when you've been, once you've kind of got the diaphragmatic breathing and you're quite comfortable with that, again, then the mind will start, or tends to start wandering. Now, okay, object of the exercise is to clear the mind. So what happens if a thought comes into your mind? Okay, you're sitting there and you're thinking like, oh, wonder what's for tea tomorrow, or wonder what's happening at work tomorrow, and I wonder when I'll be going back to work. Okay, these thoughts come into your mind. If you start kind of, oh, damn it, I'm trying to clear my mind, and these thoughts keep on coming in. Once you start getting irritated, then the whole thing gets worse. Okay, so when you start having thoughts like that coming into your mind, observe it. Just like, oh yeah, I'm having a thought. Yeah, okay, thank you. Goodbye, and let it go. Okay, observe the thought. Now that sounds a bit strange at first if you're not used to this kind of philosophy, but when you observe the thoughts tend to sort of lose their power. They tend to lose their hold. Okay, and also it teaches you to engage a different part of the brain. Now, some people call it your higher self, some people call it connection to the universe, some people just see it as a connection to your subconscious mind. Now, I'm not saying any paradigm is right or any paradigm is wrong, okay? They're all equally valid, they're just a different paradigm for looking at the same thing. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to say your subconscious mind, right? Now, your subconscious mind in any kind of situation takes in a phenomenal amount of information. So if you was aware of all the information, if you was consciously aware of all the information that the subconscious mind received, then it would drive you mad. You wouldn't have the capacity to deal with it all. There'd be too much detail, things you don't need to be aware of. So we have a system, the reticular activating system, which cuts a lot of the information out that it deems as not important to us. And this could be things like, well, if you take the karate training for example, when you first start training, you focus on breathing out as you punch. After you've been doing it for a couple of years, it's done on autopilot, you don't have to think about it anymore, okay? So that's one of the things that when you're doing your karate training, you don't have to consciously think of it anymore because it's on autopilot, the subconscious takes over, so you don't have to consciously think about it. Now, when you're in a danger situation, okay, when you're in a dangerous situation, your subconscious mind is still taking in that information, but for you to be consciously aware of it and consciously kind of recognize the signs, consciously recognize when the person is about to make their move, or to consciously recognize an escape plan, whether the escape plan means a way of talking your way out of it, or whether it means hitting the person and getting out of it. You want to have a consciously be aware of some way of escaping from the situation. Now, if your conscious mind is trying to feed you information and your conscious mind is kind of like, oh my God, you know, he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, oh, this will be so embarrassing, you won't get any kind of feedback, you won't receive any information from your subconscious mind. So you need to silence the conscious, or quieten the conscious mind, so that you can receive information from the subconscious. And the subconscious speaks to the conscious mind in terms of feelings, gut feelings, instincts, intuition. It doesn't say, hey, there's a baseball bat on the floor, if you pick that up you can hit him with it. It doesn't kind of like actually give you hard information. It gives you intuitions, it gives you instincts, feelings. That's what you've got to kind of learn to listen for. And you do that best when your conscious mind is quiet. So that's why we do part of the reason why we do the meditation. We learn to be quiet. The thoughts will still come in and we observe them. As we observe the thoughts, so those thoughts tend to have less power over us, less hold over us. And then, not just in those 2 minutes or whatever while you're doing the meditation, try and take that into your daily life. If you're driving your car along and somebody cuts you up and you're thinking like, well, whatever, you're swearing at the guy, calling him a roadhog, effing and blinding at him, okay, your thoughts, you're not having the thoughts are having you, they've taken over. Okay, your input reactions take over and the thoughts have you. When you can learn to quieten that mind, you can actually think much more clearly. And like, okay, somebody cuts you up and like, oh, well, he's an idiot, but he's past me now, so he's more likely to kill himself than he is to kill me. Okay? And you can calm down, you can relax, and you don't react maybe the way that you otherwise might have done. So I would suggest you take the time while many of us are self-isolating and many of us are at home, take the time to practice your meditation, focus on the breathing, focus on trying to quieten your mind, observe any thoughts that come in, and then take that into your daily life as well. As you're going through your life, any time a negative thought comes into your mind, whether it's, oh, I hate that guy, or I hate that TV program, or oh, that noise, that song, whatever it is, just ask yourself a simple question. Is that thought helping me or not? Okay? If it's not helping you, then by the act of observing it, takes its power away. Okay, so think about that. We would very often have an automatic reaction without thinking about things. We have a knee-jerk reaction to things, and people kind of like, oh well, I'm red-headed or whatever, and we're all fiery, whatever. No, rubbish. I'm sorry. Observe your reactions. Every time you have a negative thought, try to ask yourself, is that thought helping me? Yes or no? And if it's not helping you, then just the fact that you're observing it and you're becoming aware of it weakens that thought. Yeah? Have a think about that and practice some meditation while you're at home.